Is Dan Lok a cult? Yes or no?
Yes.
That's exactly how people are coming in with only $1 and then leaving and spending $376.
Tony in his, big ass way. All right. Boom! Fixed!
More than 30 people hurt in a fire walk during an event held by Tony Robbins.
I've been slowly but surely hearing whispers on the wind that the grifters and fake gurus, they're back.
I had read Dan Lok's book, all right? I'd watch a couple of his videos, and I said, I don't know if I like this guy. I was like, with the red suit, he seems kind of, I don't know, right? But then I picked up his book, F.U. Money, all right? I got the audio version, and I listened to it objectively. I said, I don't care what my impression is. Maybe my impression of this guy isn't good, but let me listen to what he has to say. And everything they said in F.U. Money, it resonated exactly with what I tell you guys financially. And I said, okay, this guy's wise.
There's a lot of people that give great advice that can't follow it themselves, that are fucked up, okay? Some of the best coaches are fat fucking idiots, okay? that couldn't play a sport or couldn't do the thing that they're coaching at all. But they know how to coach because they know exactly what it is to fuck up because they are a fuck up. So you can't really judge a book or wisdom by the mouth it comes out of. Wisdom is wisdom, okay? There's some value here, and I'm not going to just throw out the book and reject it and say just because maybe the author is a charlatan. These guys, you could look at them and you could say, these guys are promising you the world. They're saying that you can do this too, but it's bullshit. Okay, they just want to sell you something and take your money. And you can have that viewpoint and be poor for the rest of your life. But I'm telling you, how did those people become successful? Because I know from my own story how I became successful, and it was listening to people like that and the people that taught them, okay? People like Tony Robbins, people like Jim Rohn, okay? People like Napoleon Hill, who people call as a scammer and say his book was a scam. Well, you know what? It worked for me and it worked for a lot of other people. Living back in my days, working in the cubicle, working a regular job, not being a millionaire, not having a lot of money, not being a business owner, okay? I can remember distinctly talking with coworkers about my business ideas, about building a business someday, about creating a blog, and about creating podcasts and creating a YouTube channel, and even investing in real estate, okay? And they laughed. And they said,
Yeah, that's bullshit, it's a scam. You can't make money in real estate. You can't make money selling something online. Blah, blah, blah. Bullshit.
and you know where they are? They're still at the same fucking company, the same fucking job, and maybe they got a little bit of a pay increase. They're making 10% more than they're making 10 years ago. That's where they are. They're stuck there. But where am I? I took that advice. One of the first people that really inspired me and helped me was now a friend of mine, okay? Pat Flint. Listening to his podcast, Smart Passive Income, it got my brain going. It got me thinking. I took baby steps and I started building my blog and I started building my business, and I eventually started making a little bit of money from doing some affiliate marketing. And then pretty soon, wow, Simple Programmer was making $50,000 a year. The Pluralsight courses I created were making me $600,000 a year, okay? And that all came from me stepping out of that comfort zone, from having a little bit of faith and believing and listening to the right people that were already successful, people that were already making money. When I wanted to get good with my social skills, okay? That's what I learned from people that were already doing it. I didn't go to the people that said, oh, looks are the only thing that matters.
And it's just how it is. There's no such thing as game. There's no such thing as confidence. Like, that's all just bullshit.
I didn't listen to those people. Instead, I listened to people that were actually being successful, and that made me successful.
There's never been proof of Robert being successful in network marketing or building a successful business outside of his book sales.
Robert invested in real estate and small cap stocks, accumulating debt that totaled close to $1 million.
Talked about Rich Dad Poor Dad enough that I've heard the controversies surrounding that book, and there is plenty.
would really like to see more practical, actionable, step-by-step advice rather than just vague, broad concepts. And I think that's where the disconnect stems from.
A lot of people call this a scammer, says Robert Kiyosaki is a scammer. Heck, the book itself, it doesn't tell you how to do anything. It just gives you the ideas. It's missing a whole bunch. It's like, how are you gonna find these investments, these cash flowing? How do you find assets? I've bought gumball machines because of the damn book. In a way, it's a rusted spoon. It was not like a step-by-step guide on how to invest in real estate and get out of the rat race and become a millionaire. I wanted that, but I didn't get that. Instead, I got a rusted spoon. But I was in such a fucking prison that I used that rusted spoon. All it took was reading that one book, that Rich Dad Poor Dad book, to change my mindset to say, I will figure out how to get out of this. Like, it was a window in my prison cell. It said, hey, there was some light shining in there, and it showed me there is a way. It may not be the way that Robert Kiyosaki says. He didn't even tell me how to do it, but there's a world out there, and I have a spoon, and I am going out there.
No question, there's a lot of junk out there. You know, there's so much stuff out there. There's a lot of junk, but at the same time, there's a lot of guys who, you know, maybe they're not as skilled as other guys out there, but for whatever reason, somebody connects with the way that they teach something, and you know, they're not necessarily doing it without integrity. They're trying as best as they can, even if they can't do very well. But meanwhile, somebody can learn from. You can learn from everybody. Now, it doesn't mean you will learn from everybody. The important thing is that if you find someone that you connect with, and then you find out, you know, maybe he's not as successful personally as you know, somebody else, but if you actually got the benefit out of it, that's what really matters.
Again, not the perfect book. Okay, the book is lacking in many ways. I think the story of the Rich Dad Poor Dad is a powerful one. And that is enough to change people's minds. And that's why there's value in this, because it reached me where I was at, being fairly young, thinking paycheck to paycheck and thinking about working a job my whole life. That book fundamentally changed that. I wasn't as sophisticated. I didn't understand the things I understand now, right? A different message would not have reached me. This is a kind of a dumbed down message, and it is necessary to reach certain people. Now, with that said, okay, it's good to follow and to get advice from mentors that you can learn from, but do not worship them, okay? So the same thing happens with Tony Robbins. Again, like, I'm a fan of Tony Robbins. I like him, but I also dislike him. I dislike a lot of his sales techniques. I think that some of the stuff that he says is just downright not right at all, right? But I think there's a huge amount of value in some of the stuff he says. I mean, he changed my life in many ways, okay? So there's huge value, and I still point people to Tony Robbins, to his seminars, knowing that they're gonna get some pretty nasty sales techniques, and there's a lot of cult people in there that are drinking the Kool-Aid, but because there's still a huge amount of value in there.
I learn from a lot of different people. Okay, there's some lessons I learned from Tai Lopez. There's some lessons I learned from Dan Lok. There's some lessons I learned from Grant Cardone. There's some lessons that I've learned from a lot of different people. Maybe I'm not going to accept 100%. Okay, I'm not going to get in their camp because I'm not in anyone's camp. I'm in my camp.
The second thing I'll say is this. Like, I look at this blog post this guy wrote, and he does so much research on why Robert Kiyosaki is a scam, and I'm like, what benefit is that? You're going to have to trust your gut to some degree. You can't investigate everyone. Like, if you take the magnifying glass under all of your heroes, you're going to find that they all are flawed. They all are flawed.
I don't do everything perfect. I've made mistakes in my life. I do stupid things. I do things that other people would consider to be unethical, right?
Just move on. Go find someone that you do trust, or find some advice that you do like, and follow that. Don't fucking waste your time.
Worry about what you're doing. And if you can learn from people, regardless of what you think about them, learn from them. Take every advantage that you can. But before you criticize someone else, think about your own life and what are you doing, and how you're wasting your time if you're criticizing someone else.
Hey guys, if you like this video, make sure you watch this one next on why being too skeptical is ruining your life, even if your skepticism is correct. I know this sounds crazy, but once I made a paradigm shift and opened myself up to the woo-woo stuff, I became a millionaire and started living my dream life within just a few years. If you'd rather be rich and happy than write all the time, I'll see you over there.